and I think he's going to try to primary a lot of these Republicans that I think then they actually need to be primary. A bunch of these guys need to go, and I think that's what he's probably going to end up doing. Who knows if he's going to start a social media platform? Who knows if he's going to start a new news organization? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But in a way, I think he's in a better position than he was when he was president, because I think that one thing I've been thinking about it, and it probably not only what he did, and he did a lot of stuff, even though he had everything against him. He did a lot of stuff as president that he got accomplished. But I think that the thing that he did, I think that he was able to expose how corrupt, how inept, how evil DC is, how the Democrats are working with Republicans, how not all of them, but that for the most part, that these guys are swamp creatures. And I think he exposed that. He exposed the media that they're not there to try to report the news. They're there to create and actually champion a narrative. And I think also, and they know how much of a big tech was to our liberties. And I think that he did that. He exposed what that is. So I think that's his lasting contribution. But I'm pretty sure that he's thinking about, should I start a third party? Even though they I think they came out and said no, but I'm pretty sure that's on the back burner, starting a new party. Because I think that there's a poll that came out. I think it was 70% of Republicans said they would join a third party. Even I would consider a third party, because you know what? If you're not going to be fighting for my rights and you're not going to do what you're supposed to do, why should I even be a Republican? Mm-hmm. No, there's no reason for that. So that's one thing. Social media, I think that if he starts like a platform, I think it's the toughest thing to do. I think probably the easiest and the path of least resistance for him will probably be starting a news organization. If he can do that, like traditional media, I think that'd probably be the easiest thing for him to do. And I think because I think that Parler was an example of, you can't really try something new because they're going to come after you. And they own Apple. Well, Apple, I shouldn't they own it, but they're part of it. They're part of that big tech monopoly. It's Apple and Google. They're not going to support you on their platforms, so you won't be able to buy it on your phone. You won't be able to get it on your smartphone. So I think that's where he goes.
There's one thing that was noted, Javi, about Obama, that when Obama was one of the few, if not the only modern time president who, after he won, after his term was over, after his second term was over, he stayed in DC. Mm-hmm. All the presidents pack up and leave. They go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Obama stuck around in DC. He was running things against Trump, Javi. He was still running his DOJ. He was still putting his finger on the scale. I think that's what Trump needs to do, Javi. He needs to stick around DC, take a break, take a good long break. He needs to recharge that battery. He's not a young guy, he's 74 years old. Take a good vacation, fix your business affairs, because he lost money during this time. That people said that, I think his wealth was cut almost in half. So I think he needs to do that, take care of business, and then start, now that he knows. Because remember, Javi, one of the reasons that I think he failed, because one of the good things about Donald Trump is he was an outsider. One of the things that tripped up Donald Trump was that he was an outsider. He didn't know how things worked. He didn't know who was who. It's like going into a new job. You go into a new job, Javi, you don't know who's what the culture, the climate of the job is. You don't know who's against whom. You don't know what the cliques are. You don't know who's in the know. You don't know who's just out watching for themselves. You don't know who's trying to help you, but not really trying to help you. They just want to find out what you're doing, and they're reporting to somebody else. You don't know any of that stuff, have you? You don't find out until you've been there for a good while. Because people who are fakes put up very good fronts. They put up, and I remember one time one of my jobs that I reported to, there was this person who gave a great speech about how he would promote the business, how he would promote the job where I work. He gave a great speech, Javi. and the whole everybody there at the place, they all applauded Javi. They were clapping and stuff, and I was very impressed with that guy. I said, wow, that guy is good. That's a good employee. As time went on, Javi, I found out about why everybody clapped and howled so loudly, because it was just a joke, Javi. Because the guy was super lazy. The guy was very lazy. They knew that what he said was BS. So everybody clapped and applauded because it was a big joke. But you have to have been there for a while in order to know that. If you just step in there, you think, man, that guy's good. I want that guy on my team. Look at everything he's willing to do. And no, he wasn't willing to do anything. In fact, he would fight so he could do less. So there's, he, now that he knows the way that it works, Javi, I think he's better equipped to go in and run things and help people. Now he can raise money. Now he can get people to fundraise and help. I think he's a smart guy. I think he knows that his better chances are with the Republican Party. And those clowns, some of those anti-Trump Republicans want to start their own party. They're dumb. Those guys are just dumb. They don't know how to win. And so I think that that's what he should do, Javi. He should be behind the scenes. He should stick around in DC. He has money to he has the clout to raise some things raise some money. He has clout and money to create, maybe start a bank, maybe something like that, Javi, with some buddies or something, where now he can start funding a parallel economy, so that we don't need big tech. We'll have our own type of Amazon. We'll have our own Apple. We'll have our own PayPal. We'll have our own what's that app, Javi, that where you donate money?
Cash App. I mean, there's Cash App, there's PayPal.
Where you donate to a cause. GoFundMe, yeah, because those are also doing cancel culture. So he can help somebody start our own GoFundMe, and now we run parallel economies, Javi, with the liberals. They would lose 50% of their business, and it would jump over to the other economy that was built. I think that's one of the things that he should do, and that he knows, now he can do.
The only problem with that is that you need a lot of funding for something like that, especially where they're at right now. I think that you're really behind the eight ball. I mean, really, it's what can you do and salvage, because 2022 is going to be important year. And let me tell you why I think it's very important. I think that Biden has been a disaster. Even I have a friend who's a liberal, and we still keep in touch, and I have a thread with several people in him. And even he kind of like admitted that it's been a disaster. Mm-hmm. And I think more people are starting to notice that voted for him, that this guy's a disaster. He said like, he was like, yeah, the stimulus is gonna get done now, blah blah. Nothing. I don't think these guys even care about the stimulus. I don't think that they care about the American people. So I think that's kind of hard, like starting something parallel, especially at this stage. I mean, I think, like I said, Parler is probably the perfect example. They just won. I think the way they went about it, it was just, even Steven Crowder brought that up. That I think it was Steven Crowder. I think it was Steven Crowder who said that they messed up. There's like, he didn't want to like get specific, but they messed up in the process. And even he said, like, you know what, it's kind of hard to create something to combat big tech right now. I think you're right. I do believe what you said, that he needs to start helping other candidates and have them run, but he also needs to vet these people. I mean, you have Tony Gonzalez here in San Antonio. He supported him over Raul Reyes. Tony Gonzalez is a big time rhino. He didn't even challenge the electoral college. So you have to be very careful also who you support. Mm. I think that he needs to get better at that, and I think he needs to go after all these. I know some people are saying, "Oh, they want to impeach the president." No, not just that. The people who didn't support and actually didn't support, like Ted Cruz and Howley when they challenged the electoral college. That right there was a pivotal moment. And a lot of these guys showed that they were spineless and had no guts. Men and women, they were spineless and gutless. So those people, you need to go after them. And I'm talking about like Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, I was going to call him Sean Lee, the guy from the Cowboys, Mike Lee, and some other guys that, at the top of my head. Gonzalez is another one. So these guys, and then you'd be surprised how many people have been, um, like actually speaking up. Oh yeah. You're fighting against impeachment. I'm like, people, if they could have, all this could have been avoided if they would have just challenged the electoral college. They would have had the fortitude, the testicular fortitude to do something about it, and we wouldn't be in the mess that we're in right now. These people made it so much harder for the American people. If you think about it, look at everything all the money that was spent on this sham trial that could have gone to taxpayers. How many people? I mean, I'm lucky, like you. We're in the same business, or you're in the same business. That we have a job. We're able to pay our bills. How many other people aren't? How many other people started their own business and couldn't start? They can't pay their bills. So just that really irritates me that these people don't see that. These guys are not they're not fighting for you, because when the moment came, and there's only pivotal times in history that you have to show that courage, like Abraham Lincoln did during the Civil War, and we had this discussion back then, like maybe a few weeks ago. You have to show that courage. You have to show, and these guys, they failed, and now they're trying to. Oh, we're fighting for impeachment. Oh, get over yourselves. You're a spineless bureaucrat that needs to be voted out of office. That's what I have to say about that.
You know how, and that's true, because one of the things that you said is people are slapping the back of these guys for impeachment when they didn't lift a finger during the election.
Yeah,
And
you know what? You know why? Because it was a lot of pressure, and it was a pivotal moment, Joe. It was a pivotal moment, and they showed they didn't have the courage. Like Rudy Giuliani, when he was going around, I remember I was watching that.
Yeah.
Told him, this is not easy. This is hard. People are going to come after you. People might actually try to vandalize your house. People are going to harass your family. Yes. But guess what? If you show courage, and very few of these people did. Like I said, Ted Cruz, Howley, Louis Gohmert, some other ones. Very few of these people showed true courage, Martin. Yeah. And I think that's a problem that we're having. That these people, they're shams. They're charlatans. That's really what they are. And like I said, I never really got into politics until like about 5 years ago. Maybe when I started the 6 years the podcast. Never did I would know that these people have no. A lot of these people have no moral courage, and it really is disappointing.
And it's up and Javi, it's up to the people to be able to tell who's on your side. Like you gave a good example, Raul Reyes versus Tony Gonzalez. We interviewed Raul Reyes. The guy's a conservative, dude. He's a conservative. I can't predict what he would have done, but I think he would have done the right thing. Tony Gonzalez, you pointed out an interview that he had with Doug Green. And this guy was all over
if you don't know, hold on a second. If you don't know who Doc Green is, guys, he has a show off out of Houston. You can follow him on Facebook. He does really good interviews. Sorry, Joe. I just wanted to let the people know who he was.
And he was all over the place. He could not give a straight answer as far as how he felt on the Second Amendment, how he felt on the First Amendment. He just could not give a straight answer. And then he said one thing, and this is a teaching moment, Javi. As a former educator, this is a teaching moment, Javi. When somebody says, oh, I believe that the Constitution is a living, breathing document. When somebody says that, what they're really saying is the Constitution can be molded, moved, cajoled, malleable, that you can, and it changes for the times. No. The Constitution is not a living, breathing document. The Constitution is set in stone. It's a contract between the American people and the government. These are your limits. This is all you can do. Don't get into my life too much. That's what the Constitution is. It also has room for changes if we want to make changes in it. But as far as it stands, it is a contract. It is a contract. It is set in stone. It is not a living, breathing document. So whenever you hear a politician say the Constitution is a living, breathing document, you run away from those guys. Because those guys do not believe that the Constitution means what it really says. And
but you know what it might be? That they haven't read it.
And either it means something, either the Constitution means something, Javi, or it means nothing.
Yeah.
And if it means nothing, then don't follow it. Throw it away. If it means something, it's there for a reason, because it means something. It's a contract that says these are your limits of federal government. and we have allowed the federal government to go get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. People got mad at President Trump for his executive orders. Remember, Javi?
Yeah.
But who's to blame for that too? The Democrats, because Obama did it before. Then they were they were happy with Obama for executive orders. They were angry at Trump for executive orders. Now they're happy with Biden that's like a third world country, Javi, where you don't know what kind of government you have depending on who wins. If this party wins, oh, we're gonna have this type of system of government. Oh, if that other party wins, we're gonna have this system. If that other party wins, we have this other system. No, that's why our transitions are so smooth, because we have one constitution. We have different parties who have different ideas on how to get to the Constitution, working within the Constitution. That's gone. Gone.
No, but I mean, these guys probably even haven't read the Constitution.
Nah.
So that tells you right there that that guy is just a career politician. They're a career politician, and they're just go where the water goes. Okay, my question to you is, what happens to the GOP now?
Okay, Javi. It's we were. Let me put it in perspective. Okay, it seems like the party is falling apart at the seams. It seems like people are pulling. The anti-Trumpers are pulling one way. Patriots are pulling another way. Trump, some people who want a mega party are pulling yet another way. But you know what the reality is, Javi? That the Republicans came within 90,000 votes of controlling the presidency, the House, and the Senate. 90,000 votes. You know, not even 100,000 votes, Javi, within controlling the presidency, the House, and the Senate. And that is in spite of the fact that local election officials changed the election law illegally, the fact that courts changed election law illegally, the fact that you had ballots coming in from under tables that were counted. You had ballots counted without the presence of Republicans, as is prescribed by law. You had mail-in ballots given to anybody, whether they were deserved or not. Whether you had drop boxes, those drop-off boxes unsecure. I mean, with all that cheating going on, and I call it cheating because if you're not following the law, it's cheating. Whether it's a voter irregularity, an illegitimate vote, or actual cheating, voting more than once, or whatever, you didn't sign it. Processing all these votes without signatures, that's cheating. All that is cheating, Javi. And in spite of all that, Javi, Trump, I think you were right, was on his way to a landslide victory.
Yeah, he was. But I mean, that you have to also see. Okay, why should you be? Let me ask you this then. Because the question shouldn't be so much what happens to the GOP party, is why should you be leaving the GOP party? Because I don't.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't.
Oh, they didn't earn. You think that Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham, going after Trump, it showed any that
not only them, Joe. Not only them.
No. There are examples.
The ones that didn't vote for who didn't challenge the electoral college. That shows me it's like you don't care about the American people. Like, then what good are you as a party? I understand what you're saying. It's a vehicle that it'd probably be better than the third party. But if it's gonna be same old, then why?
And I can't name every single one, but I named those two because those are the two examples that people will know. Because do you think that a Mitch McConnell or a Lindsey Graham has earned your trust that they can fight for you? No. They will fold as soon as there's the slightest bit of pressure.
My whole point is why even support the GOP when that's happening. I mean, I stopped donating to them. I don't donate anymore. I still send them money once in a while. I stopped donating. I'm like, why should I donate to a party that doesn't care about me, or any American people, or the American citizen, I should say. I mean, I'm not going to support them. I'm not going to support them. Now, like you said, if they show that there's somebody who cares, now I think that's what it should be. Is, do you care about the Constitution? That's what it should be about. If not, if I see that you're not, why even support you? I'm not going to support you.
Let me answer your question because I was setting up to it. what should we do with the Republican Party? Okay, a third party is mathematically not going to do anything. A
Okay.
third party will only split the vote. If there's 50-50, it's only going to split the vote. We're not going to win enough people so that a third party will gain so many votes that it will get more votes than the Democrats and the Republicans. And I know there's going to be people saying, "Oh yeah, but it's possible. It's mathematic. Yeah, anything is mathematically possible." And you can start the Mickey Mouse political party, and it's mathematically possible that from here in 2 years you might win. Okay, anything is possible, but extremely realistically unlikely. This is what I think should happen, Javi. I think that as Republicans, we need to find out who follows the Constitution, how they feel about the Constitution, and ask the hard question. If you were in that situation, like what Trump was in, how would you vote? And do you believe that Trump was right in what he did in holding a rally and telling them to fight back? Because he didn't tell them go burn something. He said do it peacefully. And if they start, the wiggling, that unfortunately a lot of Republicans, they start falling apart at that time. But Javi, this is the reason that we have to get people who fight back. And people, sometimes Republicans, and this is our fault that we have, that when they hear the word, like the Democrats tell us not to use the word fight because it's violent, we stop using it. They continue using it, right? Because they excuse themselves, but we stop using it. Oh, you can't do that. Now that's violence. Okay, we will back off. And that's wrong, Javi. We shouldn't back off. And I'm not saying go steal stuff, go burn it. No. I'm saying fight back by talking, fight back by arguing. That's not against the law, and it's not telling people don't go, as long as you don't go around telling people to kill people. Of course, that would be stupid. We've never stood for that. We've never favored that. That never even happened at the Capitol. Nobody killed anybody at the Capitol. When we said it, we were repeating the New York Times line and the news that everybody had said, but it turned out to be a big lie. So nobody killed anybody. Okay, they vandalized stuff and they trespassed. Okay, and we don't recommend that. But what we do need to do, Javi, is start going and asking the tough questions from these guys and not backing down, because we need guys, Javi, who and women like Marjorie Greene, who are going to be on the offensive, Javi. Because if you're not on the offensive, then you're what?
The defensive.
You're on the defensive, and playing defense is harder than playing offense. If you don't get, I love those guys. Did you hear about those guys who passed the Omar Act?
No.
There's these guys. Well, Ilhan Omar apparently gave money from some of her political money to her husband. She funneled everything through her husband. So the one that she was cheating on. So she funneled everything through him. And that's illegal, Javi. You can't do that. So what these two Republicans did, I think they're freshmen, if I'm not mistaken. They passed this law called the something with an O and maintenance or something like that, monitoring or something like that, and relatives or something like that. But the letters stand OMAR, the Omar Act. So they named it after Ilhan Omar, and they passed an act. That's what they have to do. Let's pass this act, and they have to defend it. And always turn it around on them and let them defend it. And stop trying to defend Trump and saying, well, no, he this, he that, he did, and let's start getting on their case. Let's start talking about them, because what's the first thing that a person who hates Trump and you're debating, what's the first thing that when you say something about Biden, what's the first thing that they do?
Yeah, he's racist.
Who?
Trump is racist.
Yeah, they turn it back on Trump.
Yeah.
Every time you say, they turn it back on Trump. When you talk about quid pro quo and Biden, they turn it back on Trump. Anything, Javi. And what we need to do is keep the focus on them and don't let them dictate the language. But getting back to the politicians, Javi, we need politicians who will do that. Constantly attack verbally, constantly be on the offensive, constantly be because, Javi, sometimes it's not, I think Bongino said this, it's not so much the punishment that gets you, it's the process. Get him embroiled. Should we, for example, if we were to happily win a Republican majority in
I
2020,
doubt it.
if we were, I said if we were, then the thing that they should do is immediately impeach Joe Biden for quid pro quo in Ukraine. That's what they should do. If we're to pick the right people, they have to be willing to do that, because you need three miracles. I think you need three miracles to happen, and the three miracles rarely happen, Javi. I mean, rarely happen. It could, but it's very rare. First of all, you need to primary almost every Republican and win, even if it's close to 50% or 50% of tough Republicans, Javi. You have a chance to sway the rest, because there's some in the middle who will go wherever these are people who just lick their fingers, stick it up in the air. Okay, there's where I'm going. So if there's a wave of people who are tough, they'll join the tough wave. They might be weak guys, but they'll join the tough wave because they're afraid of the tough of where the water's going. They're afraid to go against the current. You first of all, you need to do that. Select people who are going to primary. Then those people in the primary have to win against the Republican incumbent. Then that's the second miracle. Then the next miracle is that you actually have to beat your Democratic opponent. So it's like three miracles that you need, Javi, in order to have a Republican House and a Republican Senate that is effective.
And then you have the Dominion machines in 19 states.
That's tough, Javi. That's gonna be tough.
Dominion machines that you have in 19 states, dude. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tough. I'm gonna leave it at I'm not gonna close the door to anything, but I'm gonna fight back. Even I mean, I'd fight back if I were losing the fourth quarter and it's 5 minutes to go and I'm losing 68-0. I'd still be fighting, because I can't give up. I can't give up. But I know the odds. I'm realistic.
So I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. So before I wrap it up, I do want to say that there's a couple of things I've been wanting to do. Like I feel like wanted to bring up is I do like to with everything going on with COVID, with everything going on with the elections. I'd like to also share about the charities that I've been well, I buy stuff from them. Like they have stores, and one of them is Stock Mills. I think it's Stock Mills Coffee. I have their shirt, guys. No, we're not getting it like a sponsor or anything, but I think it's a really cool shirt. It's from them. It says, I think, put the place of stamp here, I think, but it looks backwards because it's on video. And the other ones, and I'll show you next week.
It looks fine.
Huh?
It looks fine. It's not backwards.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they sell coffee. It's veteran owned. And the money that they make, is they don't keep it for themselves. They actually donate money to charities that affect veterans. And the other one is Gods and Rescues here in San Antonio. Gods and Rescue Dogs here in San Antonio. I'll show you what I got from them the next week. Okay, guys? So I want to wrap it up. And do not forget, this is the first.